Did Hollywood really cancel Johnny Depp? Or is Captain Jack Sparrow about to make the most unexpected comeback in movie history? Because, let's be real, who hasn't quoted Savvy or imagined sailing the seas with a bottle of rum, a mischievous grin, and a swagger that made pirates cool again? If you've been wondering what's really going on with Johnny Depp's career, you're definitely not alone. For fans, it's been a roller coaster, emotionally draining yet oddly hopeful. The world watched as Johnny went through one of the most public, emotionally raw, and legally complex celebrity sagas in recent memory. The headlines were everywhere. Social media was ablaze, and it seemed like every day brought a new twist in the Depp-verse heard legal firestorm. At one point, it looked like Johnny had lost everything. His image was shattered. Studios backed away. His career seemed like it was dead in the water. But here's where things get interesting. What if I told you he might actually be stepping back onto the deck of the Black Pearl? That's right. Despite everything, there are signs, subtle, quiet, but impossible to ignore, that Johnny Depp might be on the brink of one of the most epic career comebacks we've ever seen. And Pirates of the Caribbean 6 might just be the key that unlocks it all. If you're someone who grew up watching Depp charm his way through cursed treasure hunts, kraken battles, and rum-fueled negotiations, you'll want to stick around, because what's happening behind the scenes could change everything. Let's rewind for a second. Johnny Depp was everywhere in the early 2000s. He wasn't just a movie star. He was a cultural force. He brought eccentric, unpredictable characters to life like no one else. From the melancholy genius of Edward Scissorhands to the drug-fueled madness of Raoul Duke in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and of course, the chaotic brilliance of Captain Jack Sparrow. That role in particular changed his entire career, and arguably it changed the entire trajectory of Disney's live-action films. Pirates of the Caribbean. The Curse of the Black Pearl came out in 2003 and was an unexpected smash hit. Depp's portrayal of Jack Sparrow earned him an Oscar nomination, made him a household name worldwide, and launched a billion-dollar franchise. But then came the scandal. Johnny Depp's lawsuit against a British tabloid, and later, the defamation. Trial against Amber Heard became one of the most polarizing celebrity events of the decade. There were recordings, testimonies, viral tweets, and heated debates about domestic abuse, media narratives, and cancel culture. Regardless of whose side you were on, there's no denying it took a toll. Disney, aiming to protect its family-friendly image, quietly dropped Depp from the Pirates franchise. It wasn't a dramatic exit. It was more like a vanishing act. One moment he was the face of the series, and the next, he was gone. What made it sting even more for fans was how fast it happened. There wasn't a proper farewell. No announcement. Just silence. And as the franchise struggled to redefine itself, it became clear you can't just replace Jack Sparrow. He wasn't a costume you could pass to someone else. He was the franchise. But here's the twist most people didn't see coming. Depp didn't try to immediately fight his way back into the mainstream. Instead, he stepped away from the noise. He focused on smaller projects. Films like Jean. Du Barry, where he played King Louis XIII, showed a completely different side of him. There was depth, grace, a quiet kind of artistry. He also spent time touring with his band Hollywood Vampires, reconnecting with music, creativity, and fans on a more intimate level. He didn't need the blockbusters. He was rebuilding himself emotionally, mentally, and professionally. This approach wasn't just about survival. It was strategic. By keeping a low profile, Depp gave the public space to reevaluate. Without the glare of the courtroom, people started to remember why they fell in love with him in the first place, and gradually, public sentiment began to shift. Social media campaigns cropped up demanding his return to Pirates of the Caribbean. Petitions gained hundreds of thousands of signatures. Fans made art, edits, and even short films reimagining Jack Sparrow's return. The message was clear. The world hadn't moved on. They were waiting. That brings us to Pirates of the Caribbean 6. For years, this installment has lingered in development limbo, not because of a lack of interest, but because of one enormous, unavoidable question: can the franchise survive without Johnny Depp? Disney certainly tried to find the answer. When the fallout from the Depp-Heard controversy reached its peak, the studio was quick to distance itself from Depp, aiming to shield its family-friendly brand from the storm. It seemed final at the time. Depp himself even stated in court that he wouldn't return to Disney even for $300 million and 1 million alpacas. But as time has gone on and the dust has settled, things look far less certain. Disney didn't just throw up its hands and walk away from Pirates of the Caribbean. Far from it. The franchise remains one of the studio's most lucrative live-action properties, having grossed over $4.5 billion globally. That kind of success is hard to abandon, so naturally they began exploring new avenues. They commissioned new scripts from a range of writers. One of the most notable came from Craig Mazin, the creator behind the critically acclaimed HBO miniseries Chernobyl. His reputation for serious, emotionally driven storytelling created buzz that perhaps the Pirates world could be reimagined in a fresh, mature, and narratively rich way. At the same time, Disney also floated ideas for spin-offs. One of the most widely reported was a female-led reboot starring Margot Robbie. The idea had some appeal. Robbie is a dynamic and talented actress, and the idea of reframing the Pirates universe through a new lens seemed timely and progressive. However, as months turned into years, that project lost momentum. Eventually, even Margot Robbie confirmed in interviews that the film was no longer moving forward. According to her, the studio simply didn't seem interested in pursuing it further. Despite the initial headlines and excitement, that version quietly died, leaving fans wondering what direction, if any, Disney was actually heading in. Why didn't those reboots catch fire? The answer lies in something more emotional than corporate strategy, chemistry. The magic of the original Pirates films wasn't just in the action set pieces or the swashbuckling lore. It was in Johnny Depp's performance as Captain Jack Sparrow, a role that was never meant to be the heart of the franchise, but quickly became its soul. Depp's portrayal was unpredictable, eccentric, and deeply charismatic. He played Jack as if he were a rock star lost at sea, stumbling through political intrigue and ghostly curses with a blend of wisdom and obliviousness. The character wasn't just iconic, he was the franchise. You could change the villain, the love interest, the setting, but remove Jack and you remove the pulse. And so every attempt to move forward without him felt hollow. Studios may have access to the best writers and the most advanced visual effects, but they can't manufacture what Depp brought to the role. It's the same reason fans didn't just accept his departure, they rejected it. Hardcore supporters launched petitions demanding his return, some of which garnered hundreds of thousands of signatures. Social media lit up with fan edits, tributes, and speculative theories about how Jack Sparrow could be brought back. It wasn't just nostalgia. It was a kind of grassroots resistance to the idea that the character could be replaced. Over time, Disney seems to have taken notice. While there haven't been any official statements, numerous industry insiders have begun whispering about a shift in tone within the studio. Executives are no longer ruling out the possibility of bringing Depp back. There are no contracts on the table, no production schedules with his name listed, but there are conversations. Informal ones, yes, but meaningful nonetheless. According to multiple sources close to the project, there have been quiet check-ins between producers and Depp's representatives. Not negotiations, not commitments, just testing the waters, feeling things out. This type of behind-the-scenes curiosity is telling. In Hollywood, nothing happens in a vacuum. Executives weigh every decision against risk, reward, public sentiment, and timing. And right now, things are aligning in Depp's favor. His legal battles are over. His public's image, once in tatters, is being slowly rehabilitated. His appearance at the Cannes Film Festival for Jean Dubarry was met with cheers and standing ovations. He's not back at the top just yet, but he's no longer persona non grata either. For Disney, that means the most controversial aspect of rehiring him, the fear of public backlash, has diminished considerably. Then there's the numbers game. Every Pirates film with Depp in the lead role was a massive financial success. Even the lower-rated entries brought in hundreds of millions worldwide. The mere announcement of Depp's return could generate a tidal wave of buzz, far outweighing the excitement around any potential reboot. In an industry that thrives on attention and anticipation, this kind of momentum is invaluable. So the door is cracked open, not wide, but enough for someone to step through. Whether Depp will walk through it remains to be seen. For his part, He's remained largely quiet about the possibility. He said in the past that he felt betrayed by Disney, which quickly abandoned him amid controversy without waiting for the facts to emerge. That kind of treatment is hard to forget. If he does return, it won't be because he needs the money or the fame. It'll be because the story is right, because the timing is right, and because he sees a path forward that honors the character he helped bring to life. For now, all eyes are on the horizon. The Pirates brand remains dormant, but not dead. Disney knows they have something powerful in their hands, but they also know they can't afford to mishandle it again. And Depp, for his part, seems to be keeping his distance, not out of disinterest, but perhaps out of principle. In the end, Pirates 6 may still take many forms before it's finally realized. It could be a reboot, it could be a sequel, it could even be a hybrid, introducing new blood while giving old fans a proper farewell. But one thing is clear: whatever form it takes, the shadow of Jack Sparrow, and the man who played him, will always loom large over it. And as the whispers turn into rumors and the rumors turn into headlines, fans everywhere will be watching, waiting, and hoping for one final voyage aboard the Black Pearl. Why now, you ask? The answer might be simpler than you think. Timing. Johnny's image is recovering. The legal victories gave him a new level of public sympathy. Social media support is at an all-time high. And Disney, well, they need a win. Let's be honest. Recent years haven't been kind to them. Some of their biggest live-action bets haven't paid off. Fan trust has wavered. Reviving a proven moneymaker with one of the most beloved characters of the 21st century, that's not just nostalgic, it's good business. There's something else to consider. Even when Disney let go of Depp, they never completely shut the door. Sources close to the company have said that while executives made the decision to distance themselves during the height of the controversy, they always left room for a possible return, once things cooled down, and they have. That's why Disney's now quietly watching. They're tracking fan engagement, monitoring social media, analyzing audience appetite. They're looking for a signal. And if enough people show up, they just might greenlight it. So what would a comeback look like? Would it be a full-fledged return to the lead role, or a clever cameo to pass the torch? Some speculate Depp might return as a supporting character, allowing a new lead to take center stage while still honoring the legacy of Jack Sparrow. Others believe only a true sequel, but with Depp as the main star, can revive the magic. Whatever the case, the mere possibility is thrilling. Behind the scenes, Depp's camp is reportedly open to talks, but on his terms. He's made it clear that he doesn't want to return just for the paycheck. He wants respect. He wants creative freedom. And above all, he wants to protect the integrity of the character he helped create. That's the kind of passion fans respect. This isn't just about making a movie. It's about reclaiming a legacy. And here's something else that's easy to overlook: Depp's relationship with his fans. Through it all, they stood by him. They trended hashtags. They flooded courtrooms. They kept his name alive when the industry turned its back. That kind of loyalty doesn't fade, and if he does return, it won't just be a career move. It'll be a moment of poetic justice, a symbol of resilience, a comeback for the ages. So where does that leave us? Right. Now everything is still up in the air. No official announcements, no confirmed scripts, just hope. And that's powerful. Because sometimes that's all it takes to spark a movement. If you want to see Johnny Depp back as Captain Jack Sparrow, your voice matters. Likes, shares, comments, they shape the narrative more than you realize. Hollywood listens, especially when the fans speak loud enough. So let me ask you, do you think Johnny Depp should return as Captain Jack Sparrow? Should Disney bring back the original magic? Or is it time to let the ship sail and start a new chapter? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. And if you made it this far, thank you. You're the reason stories like this still matter. If you love deep dives into Hollywood drama, unexpected comebacks, and the untold stories behind the stars you grew up watching, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more coming, and trust me, things are just getting started. And if you're curious about what's happening with Amber Heard's rumored return to Hollywood, you need to check out this next video. What she's planning might just surprise you. Until next time, keep your compass pointed toward adventure. and never underestimate the power of a good redemption story. See you in the next one.